Joining us now is the state's Chief Manufacturing Officer, Paul Lavoie. And Officer, I guess we got Officer Lavoie, or just Paul?
Just Paul.
Just Paul.
Just
okay,
Paul's
Paul,
great,
good to have you here with us here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You know, Connecticut has a rich history of manufacturing. Walk us through what was made over the years that made us such an economic power.
Sure. I think, you know, you go back to the days of the Industrial Revolution. Connecticut was the Silicon Valley of advanced manufacturing. You know, we've invented the submarine and the nuclear submarine. We've invented the helicopter. We invented the jet engine. And so when you think of those inventions and you think of the entire supply chain that exists around that, we have this long, deep, rich history. You know, we invented the sewing machine. We invented the pay telephone. We invented the Frisbee. You know, we invented the wiffle ball. You know, I can kind of go through with some of the fun things that we've invented as well. And so very, very long history of inventions, but also the actual manufacturing of these products.
It is remarkable, too, and some of the cities still bear those nicknames, the Brass City, even though there's no brass industry to speak of, in Waterbury and Silver and everything else. And
the Hat City and Danbury. And
the Thread City and so forth. What is the biggest thing that we make in our state right now, the biggest product? Is it one of the Sikorsky helicopters? Well, the subs?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're #1 in the USA in aircraft engine and airplane parts manufacturing in Connecticut, and we're #2 in shipbuilding. So when you look at those two industries,
#2 in shipbuilding. Wow.
#2 in shipbuilding because of submarines, an electric boat, and in Groton. So when you really look at those two industries are industries that drive a lot of Connecticut's economy. But we have a very large medical device manufacturing. You know, we're #4 in the country in medical device and medical device manufacturing as well. A lot of defense spending is done here in Connecticut as well. A lot of investments from the federal government into the defense of our nation. So when you look at that, we have this really kind of really nice diverse. We have 4,800 manufacturers in our state. We're 5,445 square miles. So we have this really diverse, intense manufacturing sector. But it really is, when you think about it, it's aerospace, shipbuilding, medical devices, chemical processing are 4 of our largest industries.
And your position didn't exist a couple of years ago. This was something created because manufacturing is so important they wanted to recapture it, I guess?
Well, yeah, the way that the history of the position is that the industry got together and created the Connecticut Manufacturing Collaborative. So the 9 associations got together, created the collaborative, and the collaborative lobbied the legislature to have somebody at the highest levels of government that would support manufacturing. So it became a chief manufacturing officer position that was created by the legislature, and the governor has appointing authority. So Colin Cooper served as Connecticut's first chief manufacturing officer. He served from 2019, October of 2019, till February of 2022, and Governor Ned Lamont appointed me to the role in February of 2022.
It's interesting. I was talking to some people who run some companies in and around the Bradley Airport area who make pieces for rockets and aircraft engines, and they really say that it's a great field to go into now for young people because college is so expensive. You're not necessarily guaranteed a high-paying job, but you can start in manufacturing, make a lot of money right away.
You can. I mean, you know, these are great paying jobs. These are life-altering jobs, and they will help generations of families really have a future. And so you can, you know, there's many off-ramps in the manufacturing pipeline. You can go through high school and go into the manufacturing sector. You can go right into CT State, which is our community college system, where we have 2-year programs around manufacturing. Or if you want to become an engineer, you can go to one of our fine universities. You know, University of Connecticut provides a steady stream of engineers to Electric Boat every single year. So between all of the private universities that we have in our state college system, we have tremendous engineering programs and manufacturing programs as well. So you can, you know, again, you can go from high school into manufacturing, or you can kind of go all the way to the college route and have lots of opportunities to make a really great income.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what you're working on in a new campaign.
Sure. So we just launched a new campaign called I Got It Made. And what we did, Dennis, is we found that we've raised a generation of children who have lost touch with the fact that we make things, right? With all this push that everybody should go to a 4-year university and everybody should go and get a career in college, we stopped with the trades and getting people to understand that that we make things in Connecticut. And so we did a survey and found out that young people have no perception of manufacturing. And so the campaign is really designed around giving young people hope, right? Giving people who are in high school who might be thinking, gosh, you know, I don't think college is right for me. What can I do? I can go into manufacturing. Or I don't don't think a 4-year degree is going to be right. Can I go to CT State and get a 2-year degree, and then can I go into the manufacturing sector? So we want to introduce kids to the fact that there are great careers for them in manufacturing. When we show kids what a manufacturing job looks like, they get excited because everything now is moving towards Industry 4.0 that's highly technical. We're programming the machines, we're using robotics, we're using digital technologies, we're using 3D printing and additive manufacturing, and then we show parents what a career looks like, and they're like, wow, this is a really great future for my child. And you can have a really nice, we look at, you're 6, 7, 8 years in a manufacturing career and you're doing well, you're pushing a 6-figure income here in Connecticut.
And it's fascinating because I don't think a lot of people really know what is made here, right? You pass often these warehouses and factories are nondescript buildings from the outside, right? And it doesn't necessarily say what's made in them, but you sit in a plane and you look out, that could be a Pratt engine made right here in Connecticut. So many things.
You can't fly without Connecticut, Dennis. Everything that leaves the ground has some Connecticut components in it. Just to give you an idea, we have 44 companies here that work with NASA on the Artemis program that's going to the moon. So, I will guarantee you that anything that leaves the ground has something from Connecticut in there.
So how do you get the word out about what's made and the opportunities?
We do it a couple of different ways. So we've engaged with a marketing agency. We've engaged with Cronin that's working on our I Got It Made campaign.
Yeah, they made a commercial last year for tourism. Is that right?
Yeah, this is actually tied into the Make It Here campaign as well. So we've braided all of those together. So we're looking to do that outreach. We've got a very active social media campaign. We've also created a manufacturing ambassador program. So anybody in the state of Connecticut that's passionate about manufacturing and wants to help us spread the word can become an ambassador.
He is the Chief Manufacturing Officer for the state of Connecticut, Paul Lavoie. Thanks so much for being with us here today.
Thank you, Dennis.
And just ahead, an election year tradition.